All right, guys. So remember we went down to Creech Customs and checked out one of his projects, but he wasn't home. Um, I kind of pondered that project in the back of my head for a while. I kind of sat there and you know, we decided to acquire it. Let's figure out what's going on with this thing, see if we can get it fired up, see if we can get it going. All right, so this is a Joyner 650. It has a 2-cylinder 650cc motor on it. I do know at one point in time it fired up, but he said something about a dead battery. He said something about the radiator leaking, and we can see that. But other than that, not a whole lot of information, so we'll get this thing fired up and check it out. One thing I didn't say is the kids don't know about it yet. So once we get this thing fired up and running, we're going to pull it out of the garage and see what the kids think. All right. Nope. Nothing. All right, let's put a jump box on this. So my jump box was dead. Don't make fun of me. So we have this jump box hooked up, which is certified jump box, not a car battery. Let's see if it fires up. I did check the oil. I did top off the coolant, and I added a little bit of gas to it. Had some in there. Didn't smell the best, but you know they say you add good gas to bad gas, and then you fix it. You got more bad gas. All right, I can hear the fuel pump running. Oh, I did find this. Choke it. Way too easy. Way too easy. Something's gonna be really wrong. Let's go outside and tear up the yard if we can. some work.
So maybe some nips and tucks here and there. Go get the pushing. Come on. Don't go backwards.
I'm gonna run you over. Go to the back and push. Go to the very back and push.
I am.
Okay, you ready? Go.
Back up.
Why is this here? Why did I buy this? Did you know it was gonna be this broken or no?
Alright, so I got it fired back up. But I'd use the battery, the jump box, and then I had to use it as my wheel chock. As you can see, she's got some issues. It's got a lot of water vapor. Let's change oil. Well, that ain't good. Yummy. Okay. So, I had a bunch of water in the engine. I flushed that out. I think it's only got third and fourth gear. There's no reverse, no first, no second. So you gotta really ride the clutch out.
try that.
We drain the oil. We put new oil in it. This thing does have a lot of blow-by still. Now going into the radiator, super hot. Going out of the radiator is actually a little colder than it probably should be. I don't think that radiator is flowing very much. I think some of the tubes are clogged. So what's happening is these go straight up and down, right? So these will get clogged, and the hot coolant will come in, and then the problem is it'll flow over here, it'll flow one way, and then it'll flow down just through a couple tubes, and then this will feel really nice and cold coming out, but everything else is still really hot. So we'll have to fix this. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. If it did have a blown motor, still has a lot of blow-by. I don't know how long this thing was sitting, but the good news is we just beat this thing a lot, right? And there's actually no milkshake in the cap. So I was a little puzzled for a second, but this is what I'm thinking. This is the crankcase ventilation that they had. All right, so your tube comes off the top of the crankcase, comes up into the bottom of this. Well, the problem is, where does all the moisture go? Right? It builds up in here, and then you just have bubbling pressure. But some will come out as steam, but the stuff that settles and falls down just ends up being water in here. There's no other drain at all here, except for what that tube goes up into. So it was basically just filling full of water. You'd shut it off, all that water would drain back into the crankcase. So I don't think this thing has a bad head gasket or a bad leak into the crankcase system from water, because this thing would be milkshaked again. It happens quick. But there's absolutely no water in here. I pull the dipstick, there's absolutely no water in there, just clean oil. So I think it's worth keeping, all right? It's 100% worth keeping. We're going to do some work to it. It does have a transmission issue. I don't know if you can tell, but you have to ride that clutch out. I think it only has third and fourth, because you go all the way over one way, there's no reverse. You go all the way over the other way. I don't feel a first and a second. It feels like it's the same gear forward and back no matter what. So I think it basically just has a third and a fourth. So we fix this. It's going to run a whole lot better. Another thing I noticed is when you shut it off, it dieseled. It ran for, a few seconds after I shut this thing off. So what we're going to do is check timing on it. Make sure timing's not too far advanced. And making everything super hot as well. And then after we check timing, what's up, dude?
This one went down. Can you pick that?
Huh?
This one went down.
That went down? Did you crash?
Up the hill, everything fell. It went.
Ready? Ready? There you go. You good?
Yeah.
Did you crash?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Stop by anytime, sir. That boy needs to upgrade. That little PW50. She's tired. So, what was I talking about? Timing. We're going to check timing on this thing, make sure it's not getting those cylinders too hot. We're going to replace that radiator. It's been the first thing we do. I'm going to change the oil again just to make sure that there's no water in there. And like I said, that cap doesn't have any, dipstick doesn't have any. But I want to double check before I throw any money on this thing. Because if it has a blown motor, I got too many projects as it is. So, since this thing is worth keeping, we're going to clean this thing up and try working on that transmission. So, I don't know anything about these, but what we're going to do is we'll check with the linkage first. If the linkage is fine, I don't know how this thing runs. If anybody knows how these transmissions work with a linkage, let me know. Throw in the comments. Because all it is this bar, right? I just don't quite understand it, okay? There's this bar, okay? And this bar moves back and forth, right? I get in and out. I understand that things happen, okay? But this bar is the only thing going, left and right. It moves a lot up here, but if you sneak in back here, this is all the way one way and all the way the other. Here, you watch it, okay? Look, you watch it. Let me know what you think, because I have no idea. All the way to the left. All the way to the right. All right. This is in the middle. We'll go all the way to the left. First gear. Second gear. Neutral. Third gear. Fourth gear. Neutral. Reverse. All right, what do you think? Yeah, I don't know either. So we'll have to look that up. And then, with all that being said, I picked this thing up from Creech Customs. With all the issues it's having, he's got enough projects he has on himself with that S10. Hey, bud. Hey. Where you going? Where you going? What happened? Did he crash? Let's see if he wrecked. Hey! JR! Did you crash? Did you crash? He's got a Volkswagen title. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer that Volkswagen parts. Let's back that up. What we're going to do is we're going to take that Volkswagen and we're going to transfer some parts off of this onto that Volkswagen so I can use the title. Now, it's going to look exactly like this, like it does now, but just on that body because it's the legal way to do it. But we got blinkers and brake lights and all that stuff, so it'll be fine. We'll have to get that transmission fixed, get that radiator fixed, clean this thing up, head down to the DMV here, or MVA here in Maryland. Spend about $500 now because everything went up in price. And we'll get this thing on the street. So once this thing's running good, once it's good to go, I'm comfortable with it. I know the transmission's fine. I know everything else is good. It's cooling fine. This thing's cleaned up. Once I'm done with all the basics and the tune-up and the timing, Jared wants to tell you something.
Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment down below.
So, we'll make sure you like and comment and subscribe and all that stuff that I know you guys hate hearing, but honestly, we can't do fun things without it, and I don't really make any money off of this, so we're going to turbo it. So, I've never turboed something this small, but it's a 650. We'll find a kit for a 650, find out what size they want, and then we'll build it and throw it on here, and it should be a blast. So until then, have fun with it.